You have probably been doing the same thing to your hair for years without even realizing it is making you look older, more tired, and less confident than you truly are. Most women over 50 are not struggling because they have bad hair. They are struggling because their hair has changed, but their routine never changed with it. The products, styling habits, and cuts that once worked beautifully in your 30s and 40s can quietly begin working against your face after 50. And the frustrating part is that nobody really tells women this. Instead, you are handed the same advice, the same outdated hairstyles, and the same safe routines that slowly drain the softness and elegance from your appearance. Today on Timeless Wisdom Path, we are going to talk about 5 things mature women need to stop doing to their hair immediately if they want to look fresher, lighter, and more radiant after 50. These are small habits that create surprisingly big aging effects over time. The good news is that every single one of them can be fixed without expensive salon visits or dramatic changes. Sometimes the most powerful transformation begins with simply stopping the wrong habit. 1. Stop using too much heat every single day. One of the fastest ways to age your hair after 50 is excessive heat styling. Flat irons, curling irons, and high-temperature blow dryers slowly weaken mature hair, especially because hair naturally becomes drier and more fragile with age. Many women continue using the exact same heat settings they used 20 years ago, never realizing their hair texture has completely changed. What once created shine and smoothness now creates brittleness, dullness, and thinning ends. The problem is not heat itself. The problem is uncontrolled heat. Mature hair cannot tolerate daily punishment from high temperatures the same way younger hair can. Over time, the cuticle becomes rougher, strands lose elasticity, and hair begins looking tired no matter how much styling you do. That dry, frizzy appearance many women blame on aging is often actually heat damage. Instead of fighting your hair every morning, begin working with it. Lower your heat settings. Let your hair air dry partially before blow drying. Use soft rollers occasionally instead of hot tools every day. Most importantly, stop believing perfectly stiff, overly styled hair looks youthful. Soft movement and healthy texture always look more elegant on mature women than rigid, over-processed styling. When women reduce daily heat, something remarkable happens. Their natural shine slowly returns. Hair begins holding styles longer because it is healthier. The ends stop looking thin and straw-like. And perhaps most importantly, the face immediately looks softer and more rested. 2. Stop wearing the same hairstyle you had 20 years ago. Many women find a hairstyle that once worked and keep it for decades out of comfort and familiarity. But the face changes with time. Bone structure softens, volume shifts, and skin texture evolves. A haircut that perfectly framed your face at 35 may completely drag your features downward at 65. This is especially common with heavy, outdated cuts that lack movement. Hairstyles that are too stiff, too blunt, or too flat around the crown can emphasize sagging around the jawline and pull attention away from the eyes. Unfortunately, many women never realize their hairstyle has quietly become part of the problem. The goal after 50 is not to chase youth. It is to create balance, softness, and lift. That usually means adding gentle layers, softening harsh lines, and allowing the hair to move naturally around the face. Even changing your part slightly can brighten your features and make the face appear more open. One of the most aging things a woman can do is hold on to a hairstyle simply because it feels safe. Safe hair often becomes invisible hair. The most beautiful mature women are usually the ones willing to evolve gracefully instead of freezing themselves in time. Your hairstyle should grow with you, not trap you in another decade. A fresh haircut does not need to be dramatic to make a powerful difference. Sometimes just lifting the layers around the cheekbones or softening the ends creates an entirely new energy around the face. 3. Stop overwashing your hair. Many women over 50 wash their hair far too often without realizing it is stripping away the little natural moisture their scalp still produces. As we mature, oil production naturally decreases, which means frequent washing can leave hair dry, rough, and lifeless. If your hair constantly feels frizzy, dull, or impossible to manage, overwashing may be the hidden reason. Strong shampoos remove the protective oils mature hair desperately needs. Then the scalp overcompensates, creating an unhealthy cycle where hair feels greasy at the roots but dry at the ends. Most mature women do much better washing their hair only 2 or 3 times a week using gentle, hydrating products. The first couple of weeks may feel unusual if you are used to daily washing, but eventually the scalp begins balancing itself naturally. Another mistake is using shampoo aggressively, scrubbing harshly, or piling all the hair on top of the head while washing. Mature hair needs gentleness. Treat it like delicate fabric, not something you need to attack and strip clean. Healthier hair after 50 is often less about adding more products and more about removing damaging habits. Sometimes the greatest transformation happens when you simply stop overworking your hair every day. 4. Stop ignoring volume at the crown. Flat hair is one of the biggest things that instantly ages mature women. As facial structure softens over time, the hair needs strategic lift to balance the face. Without volume near the crown, the entire face can appear heavier and more tired. Unfortunately, many women accidentally flatten their hair every morning. They dry it downward, use heavy creams, or wear styles that collapse against the scalp by midday. Others avoid layers because they fear looking outdated, but the right layers are actually what create natural lift and movement. Volume does not mean teasing your hair into a helmet. Modern volume is soft, airy, and elegant. Even a small amount of lift at the roots can completely change how youthful and energized the face appears. One simple change that helps immediately is blow-drying against the direction of growth at the roots before smoothing the ends. Lightweight mousse applied only near the crown can also create natural fullness without stiffness. And surprisingly, changing your part even slightly can instantly add visual volume, where thinning is most noticeable. The goal is not huge hair. The goal is balance. Mature beauty thrives on softness, shape, and gentle structure. Flat hair removes all three. 5. Stop believing hair over 50 cannot be beautiful. Perhaps the most damaging thing women do to their hair after 50 is emotional rather than physical. Too many women quietly give up. They begin believing thinning, dullness, and lifeless styles are simply unavoidable parts of aging. They stop experimenting. Stop updating. Stop expecting compliments. But beautiful hair after 50 is absolutely possible. In fact, many women look more elegant and striking later in life because they finally understand what truly flatters them. Mature beauty is not about pretending to be younger. It is about refinement, confidence, softness, and authenticity. Hair over 50 needs different care, different styling, and different expectations. But different does not mean worse. Silver hair can look luminous. Fine hair can look full. Short hair can look sophisticated. Long hair can still look graceful when shaped correctly. The women who look timeless are usually not the women trying hardest to look young. They are the women who learned how to work with their natural beauty instead of fighting against it. Stop using the wrong hairbrush and brushing technique. Many mature women never think about their hairbrush. They use the same paddle brush or round brush they have owned for 15 years, never realizing that the wrong brush can cause breakage, static, and visible thinning. After 50, hair becomes more fragile at the roots and more brittle at the ends. Aggressive brushing with stiff nylon bristles or metal-tipped brushes can snap strands right at the scalp, creating the illusion of thinning when the real problem is simply breakage. Even worse is how many women brush. Starting at the roots and yanking downward through tangles is a disaster for mature hair. The hair stretches, snaps, and loses its natural pattern. Dry brushing curly or wavy hair turns it into a frizzy mess. And brushing hair when it is wet without the right tool can double the damage. The good news is that swapping your brush can transform your hair overnight. A soft bore bristle brush or a wide-tooth seamless comb respects the fragile texture of mature hair. Gentle brushing from the ends upward prevents pulling at the scalp. And using a detangling brush on damp hair with conditioner can eliminate breakage completely. When women change their brushing habits, something quiet but powerful happens. They stop finding dozens of broken hairs in their brush every morning. Their hair begins looking thicker because they are no longer snapping it off. Natural shine returns because the bore bristles distribute the scalp's oils instead of stripping them away. This small habit change costs almost nothing, but creates more visible improvement than many expensive treatments. 7. Stop sleeping on rough pillowcases without protection. One of the most overlooked causes of aging hair is something that happens while women sleep. Cotton pillowcases, especially rough or high thread count cotton, create friction against mature hair all night long. Every time a woman tosses or turns, her hair rubs against the fabric, causing cuticle damage, frizz, tangles, and even breakage at the delicate nape area. After 50, hair has less natural lubrication to protect it from this nightly assault. Women wake up with bedhead that requires heat styling to fix, not realizing they could prevent most of the damage before it starts. Cotton also absorbs moisture from the hair, leaving it drier in the morning than when they went to bed. The solution is almost embarrassingly simple: a silk or satin pillowcase. Unlike cotton, silk allows hair to glide instead of catch. It does not absorb natural oils, and it prevents the friction that creates frizz and breakage. For women with curly or wavy mature hair, a silk pillowcase can be the difference between waking up to defined waves or a tangled nest. Even better is adding a loose top of the head ponytail or a silk wrap for women with longer hair. These tiny changes take less than 1 minute before bed, but save hours of styling time in the morning. The hair stays smoother, the cuticle stays sealed, and the face benefits too. Silk pillowcases also help prevent sleep creases and are gentler on mature skin. Women who make this change report waking up with hair that looks 80% styled already. That means less heat, less product, less frustration, and more confidence from the moment they open their eyes. 8. Stop using heavy products that weigh down fine mature hair. Many women over 50 make the same mistake without realizing it. They buy the same thick creams, heavy serums, and rich leave-in conditioners they used in their 40s. But mature hair, especially after menopause, often becomes finer and more porous. Heavy products do not nourish this new texture. They coat it. And coating leads to limp, greasy-looking hair that never holds a style. The problem is that heavy butters, oils, and silicones build up on fine strands. Within days, the hair looks flat at the crown, stringy at the ends, and somehow both dry and oily at the same time. Women then add more product trying to fix the problem, creating an endless cycle of buildup and disappointment. What mature hair actually needs is lightweight hydration. Water-based products, volumizing mists, and weightless leave-in sprays respect the delicate structure of older hair. A tiny drop of lightweight oil on the ends only, never at the roots, is usually enough. Many women find they need no product at all beyond a gentle shampoo and conditioner. The most beautiful hair after 60 is often the hair that has been subtracted from, not added to. When women stop piling on heavy creams, their natural texture emerges. Hair moves again. It bounces. It catches light instead of absorbing it. This one change can take years off a woman's appearance overnight. 9. Stop ignoring your scalp health. Women spend decades focusing on their hair while completely ignoring the skin underneath it. But healthy hair starts at the root. After 50, the scalp produces less oil, becomes more sensitive, and can develop dryness, flakiness, or even inflammation that directly affects hair growth and quality. Most women never think to exfoliate their scalp or check for signs of irritation. They use harsh shampoos that strip the scalp, then wonder why their hair feels dry and looks thin. Or they avoid washing altogether, allowing dead skin cells and product buildup to clog follicles. A congested scalp cannot produce healthy, vibrant hair. The solution is simple and gentle. Scalp massages increase blood flow to the follicles. A weekly gentle exfoliation with a soft silicone scrubber removes dead skin without damage. Using a shampoo specifically formulated for mature scalps, often sulfate-free and pH-balanced, makes a dramatic difference. And for women with persistent dryness, a lightweight scalp serum can restore comfort without greasiness. Women who begin caring for their scalp notice changes within weeks. Their hair grows in stronger. Existing hair looks shinier because the follicles are healthy. Even thinning areas can improve when the scalp environment is optimized. This is not about expensive treatments. It is about paying attention to the foundation of every beautiful head of hair. If you recognized yourself in even one of these habits today, do not feel discouraged. Most women were simply never taught how hair changes after 50. The beauty industry spent decades focusing on younger women while mature women were left guessing. But now you know better, and small changes can create extraordinary results over time. Your hair is not the enemy. Your age is not the enemy. Outdated habits are the enemy. The moment you begin treating your hair according to what it needs now instead of what it needed 20 years ago, everything starts changing. Your hair becomes softer, healthier, lighter, and easier to manage. And most importantly, you begin seeing yourself differently again. Thank you for spending time with Timeless Wisdom Path. Remember, elegance does not disappear with age. Sometimes it simply needs room to shine again.